Good afternoon. So may kopya po tayo ng Magna Carta of the Filipino Seafarers, and let's try to use AI para mas maintindihan natin. It's a 52-page document and medyo mahaba-haba to kasi 52 pages eh. So ito yung document, no? An act providing for the Magna Carta of the Filipino Seafarers. An act instituting the Magna Carta of the Filipino Seafarers. So ito yung mga signatory, no, si I don't know paano to basahin. Jude Asidre, Rafi Tulfo. Okay, Rafi Tulfo is here. Francis Escudero, medyo marami-rami, Amy Marcos, Salo, tsaka Hercito. Meron pa dito Delmar, Risa Hontiveros. So ito yung document, and kung titingnan natin, marami yung mga discussion nito. Aabot nga sa 100, section 100 eh. So paano natin basahin yan? 52 pages. So let's just try to use AI. So I've already uploaded the document, and I asked, what does Magna Carta mean? Because I don't know what does Magna Carta mean. And it says, Magna Carta is a simple terms, means in simple terms means a great charter. I don't know what does that mean, or a document that lists important rights and protections. In the context of the Magna Carta of Filipino Seafarers, it is a law that protects the rights and welfare of Filipino seafarers. Okay, so this is good. Think of it as a powerful document that safeguards your rights and ensures fair treatment while you're working at sea. It's like a long shield against unfair practices and ensures you're treated fairly. Yeah, it's quite easy to understand from here, no? Parang protection siya. So, okay, let's try to ask AI. Where does Magna... Ba't nag-blink-blink to? Okay, where does Magna Carta word come from? So what we're doing here is we're using AI. Maybe i-adjust ko lang to, no, kasi sobrang medyo mabagal eh. Okay, I cannot do. The term, ito na yung sagot. The term Magna Carta comes from the Latin words Magna Carta Libertatum, which translates to Great Charter of Freedoms. Kalayaan pala to. It originates from the historical Magna Carta of 1215. Tagal na pala ng Magna Carta na word. A document signed by King John of England. This original Magna Carta was a landmark agreement that limited the power of the monarch and established certain rights for the people of England. The term is now used to refer any important document. The term is now used to refer any important document that establishes fundamental rights and freedoms, as in the case of the Filipino Magna Carta, the Magna Carta of the Filipino Seafarers. Yes. So ito pala yung origin ng Magna Carta, no? So quite interesting. Now, let's try kung interesting yung yung AI. Let's try kung makita na yung try lang. Who are the signatories of this document? Now, the AI, it takes time kasi ipaprocess na yon. And let's see kung makuha na yung mga Okay. So the document you provided is a conference committee report, not the Magna Carta itself. Hindi pala to conference pala to, hindi pa pala to complete. Saan kayo makahanap ng kompleto, no? The signatories on the conference committee report are the members of the House of Representatives and the Senate who were part of the conference committee that reconciled the differing versions of the bill from the House and the Senate. These are listed as follows. Wow, power. House of Representatives. Ayun o, kuha eh. Representative Jude Asidre. Yun, chairperson. Representative Marilyn L. Primicias Agabas. Ayun, kuha. Sandro Gonzales. Ayos. Ron Salo. Oh, actually dito. Pati next line, kuha niya. Tapos, Representative Marisa Del Mar. Ayun. Senate. Ayun. Ayos. Ito yung mga sa Senate. Rafi Tulfo, Francis, Amy Marcos, JB Ejercito, Risa Hontiveros. Galing. Galing ng AI, ano? Okay. So now, let's try. Yan yung ano, no? What does House Bill number 7325 mean? FYI lang po, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know about yung mga ano, no, yung mga ganito. So I'm just using AI. Okay. House Bill number 7325 was a proposed law in the Philippines House of Representatives aiming to establish Magna Carta for Filipino seafarers. Essentially, it was one of the legislative proposals that eventually led to the creation of the Magna Carta law. Okay. It was eventually consolidated in a Senate bill okay. So ito, House Bill, ganyan, proposed pa lang siya, tapos pag na-consolidate na, dito na. Okay. Okay. So, I'm not really, okay. So let's, what's the difference between, mali-mali yung spelling natin, pero actually okay lang naman yan kasi the difference, kakaintindi yung AI, between House Bill and Senate Bill. So it's quite interesting, no? So I know I have some friends who are are in the law field, so they know this better. In the Philippine legislative system, a House Bill or HB and a Senate Bill SB are both proposed laws, but they originate in different chambers of Congress. House Bill, a proposed law that is first introduced and discussed in the House of Representatives. Okay? The House of Representatives is the lower house of the Philippine Congress. Oh, may mga lower house ba? So ano ba yan? Yung lower house is yung nasa ground floor ba? Not very familiar, no? Senate Bill SB, a proposed law that is first introduced and discussed in the Senate. The Senate is the upper house of the Philippine Congress. Oh, okay. So, okay guys, this new to me, may upper house at saka lower house. So, kumbaga, ground floor at saka yung first floor. So, I don't know. So, both types of bills go through similar legislative process involving committee hearing, debates, and votes in the respective chambers. If a bill passes one chamber, then it's transmitted to the other chamber for consideration. Okay. So hindi ibig sabihin na dire-diretso yan. So it has to be approved by one chamber, then approved to the other chamber. So yung mga chamber, tanungin natin yung if the disagreements between the two versions of the bill, a conference committee is formed to reconcile the differences, resulting in a consolidated version. Finally, both chambers must approve the consolidated version before it's sent to the President for signing. Okay. So, yung document na to is hindi yung na-sign ng Pangulo. Okay. So, ito is actually sa Congress. Interesting, no? Ang dami kong natutunan ngayon. Okay. So what is this document? Is this the final? Tanongin natin. Ayos. Ganun ka, powerful yung AI natin. So, interesting. Okay? No, the document is not the final Magna Carta law. Oh, I see. So what I have is a conference committee report. This report simply documents the agreement reached by the conference that reconciled the differing version of the Magna Carta bill from the House Representatives and Senate bill. Okay. So what I understand now is ito is hindi yun yung final. This is a conference committee report. So, interesting. So, yung House Representatives daw at saka yung Senate is may mga differing versions. So, that's why they created this conference committee report. And the purpose is to reconcile yung differences. It shows which version was adopted and any changes made. The actual law, Magna Carta itself, would be a separately issued document signed by the President and the Senate President, and it would have its own official Republic Act. Oh, the report is simply a step in the legislative process that leads to the final law. Okay. Wow, grabe guys. I'm not into law and it's quite interesting. So nakuha nyo, may House of Representatives, tapos may Senate, tapos before yan mapirmahan ni President. And we all know na ito, napirmahan na to ng President. So this is not the actual document na napirmahan ng document. And we hope na makakuha tayo ng actual document no, para tanungin natin yung AI. Okay. So, guys, I hope you're learning. So ngayon I'm actually learning a lot, okay? So okay, next tayo. Joint explanation of the bicameral. Okay, this thing is a new thing, no? Okay. What does bicameral mean? I don't know. So it says here, joint explanation of the bicameral conference committee on the disagreeing provisions of the Senate bill and the House bill. Ano kaya yung differences, no? Maybe AI can help. Bicameral refers to a legislative system with two separate chambers or houses. Okay, so we all know that the houses are yung representatives at saka yung Senate, di ba? Philippines, for example, has bicameral legislature consisting of House of Representatives, lower house. Okay, yan yung ground floor, no? At saka yung Senate is the upper house. Wow, galing. A bill must generally pass both houses before becoming a law. The term comes from the Latin words bi means two and camera means chamber. Oh, okay. So yung camera means chamber. Bicamera, two chambers. So kaya two houses. So they have to approve. Okay. So let's ask. What are the differences between the Senate Bill 2221, tama ba? And House Bill 7325. So let's hope no na this AI is very smart na makuha niya to. Okay. Ang dami kasi, ang hirap basahin ito eh. Okay, let's see if kaya niya. The provided document doesn't detail the specific differences between Senate bill and okay, they didn't say. The conference committee only states where disagreeing provisions between the two bills, and and that the conference committee was convened to reconcile them. To know the exact differences, you need to access the original versions of both Senate Bill 2221. Oh, okay. The bills would be available. Okay, so let's try this. What were the disagreeing provisions between the two bills? Let's try. What were the disagreeing provisions between the two bills? Meron kasi dito eh. Pero dito, Section 59, Execution of Judgment and Monetary Rewards. The dole, okay, pa-explain natin. The document does not specify the exact disagreeing provisions between, okay. Parang naloko na yung AI ha. Okay. So, let's say, please explain, okay. What is, kasi nakasulat dito eh, yung sa document na to, the conferees agreed to adopt the considered bill on the matter as working draft. A new section 59 was inserted, read as follows. Oh, okay. I think ito yung last na document na ano. So section 59. So what is the new section 59 that was inserted? Quite cool. Let's hope na yung AI kaya niyang i-understand to. Ayos. Now, this is quite an explanation, no? So, medyo basahin natin to. Section 59, as inserted into the reconciled Magna Carta Bill, deals with the execution of judgments and monetary rewards. O yan, no? Kuhang-kuha, oh. It outlines a process for ensuring seafarers receive monetary awards, salaries, wages, benefits, death, and disability claims fairly and quickly. Kasi nakasulat dito eh. Promulgation of rules. Ano ba to? Wala, saan ba yung promulgation of rules dito? Okay. Promulgation of rules. The Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, okay, and the National Labor Relations Commission, LLRC. Grabe. Power tong AI na to. Nakuha niya pati meaning nito kasi hindi siya naka-explain eh. Pero dito, in-explain niya eh. And the National NCMB and the National Conciliation and Mediation Board, in consultation with the Maritime Industry Tripartite Council, MITC. Ito. Will create rules to ensure fair and speedy resolution of monetary claims. Okay. So, mag-create sila ng rules. So, itong mga, ito, DOLE, LRIC. So, ano bang ibig sabihin yan? Mag-meeting ba sila? O, I don't know. Preventing ambulance chasing. The rules will include mechanisms to prevent ambulance chasing, unethical soliciting of clients, and punish to those who engage it. What is ambulance chasing? Okay? Okay, let's mamaya tanungin natin yung AI. Immediate executory rewards, undisputed amounts owed to the seafarer will be paid immediately, even if the appeal is pending. Ayos. Even if the appeal is pending. So, pwedeng ibigay ka agad. Beneficial to sa mga seafarer. Bond for appeal disputed amounts. If seafarer appeals a decision about disputed amounts, they must post a bond to ensure that they can repay the amount if they lose the appeal. What does that mean? If they win, the other party must repay the bond amount. Okay? Financial assistance. DMW's action. Saan ba yung action? Yan. Fund may provide financial aid to seafarers needing help for paying to help paying for the bond depending on the final determination for the determination of their disability. In short, Section 15 aims to streamline the process of getting seafarers the rightful payments and prevents them from being taken advantage by the legal proceedings. Oh, ayos. Ayos, guys. Okay. So, pa-explain natin. Ito, hindi ko naintindihan. Pa-explain natin to. What does ambulance chasing mean? Tama ba yun? Okay. So, ang daming guys, I'm a software engineer, and as you know, I don't know much about the law. I just developed the Seaman Bio ng yung kapatid ko is a seafarer, and these things there are a lot of questions, no, regarding this, because it's a lot of documents. How can you understand 52 pages, no? Ang hirap. Okay? Now, there are new words, a lot of new words. Right now, guys, grabe. Grabe yung ulo ko. Parang dami ng laman ngayon. May nalaman na ako ngayon. I hope may natutunan nga, yung House Representative, yung House Bill, Senate Bill, dapat they have to be agreed, and once there are differences, then they will be reconciled using a committee hearing, and then bicameral houses, then it will be signed by the President as a final law. Okay, now, ambulance chasing is a derogatory term. Okay, grabe, ang daming words. Derogatory term. So, pasensya na guys kasi yung pagbasa ko, kung minsan mali-mali yung nabasa ko ganyan talaga ako So, hindi ko kasi field yung English, kaya nga ako nag-aral ng programming, no? Kasi para computer lang kaharap. Okay, so this is a derogatory term for the unethical practice of soliciting clients for legal representation, often in pushy and aggressive manner, especially at the times of vulnerability, like immediately after an accident or injury. It's often associated with personal injury lawyers who aggressively seek out potential clients involved in accidents or who have suffered injuries. The implication is that they're more interested in profit than in genuinely helping their clients. In the context of Magna Carta for Filipino seafarers, it refers to lawyers who might aggressively seek out seafarers who have suffered injuries or other injustices to represent them in their financial gain rather than out of general concern and seafarers' well-being. Okay, please explain. So, one of the advantage of AI is that it can explain to you like you are a 12-year-old. Please explain this to me like I'm a 12-year-old. Kasi hindi siya simple So the way I understand is there are lawyers who are looking for victims, no? And I don't know what's the problem there, no? Because I think the problem that I can see is if they know that they can win the case, it's just my understanding. I know if they know that they can win the case, then they will do whatever it takes to help the seafarers, but actually they just want to get the money, right? From the whatever. Okay, so imagine you scrape your knee really badly. Okay, grabe, 12-year-old to Ito yung please explain this to me like I'm a 12-year-old. Imagine you scrape your knee really badly. Kumbaga, nagka-problema daw yung na-disgrasya ka, so nasagi yung tuhod mo. Suddenly, lots of lawyers show up. Okay, all saying, I can get you lots of money. Oh, I see. They're not really worried about your knee. They just want your money. That's ambulance chasing. Yun naman pala eh. Pinadali yung ano no. Grabe yung AI no. Interesting. They're like vultures circling waiting for someone to get hurt so that they can make money off it. It's not fair or right. The law for seafarer wants this to stop. It wants to make sure that if a sailor gets hurt or isn't paid correctly, they get help from a good lawyer who really cares, not just someone greedy for money. Oh, okay. In your understanding, and data. Let's see if it can search the internet. Okay. How prevalent, kung gaano kalala, is ambulance chasing in the maritime industry? Actually, wala akong kaalam-alam nito kung hindi to nasabi, no? Hindi ko nabasa dito. Okay. So it's interesting. I'm learning a lot of stuff right now. And take note, ang nakasulat dito, we started with this dito. So dito pa lang tayo ngayon, and this is the last no. Okay. I don't have access to real-time data and statistics. Okay. So didn't have the numbers. So it's okay. Yeah. And then so this is something interesting. In my own understanding, mukhang laganap to. Pag may mga aksidente, ito. Yung ambulance chasing. Kasi, ginawang batas eh. So, ibig sabihin, laganap talaga to. Okay. So, explain to me this. Kopyahin natin to. Explain to me this. So, undisputed amounts. Okay, at least nag-ano na. Let's say a shipping company owes you money and you both agree on the amount. Okay, it's an undisputed amount. Okay. Undisputed kasi you both agree. No one's arguing about how much is owed. Normally, if the company wanted to appeal on the decision, maybe they later claim a mistake, you might want to have, wait a long time for your money. Immediate executory awards means that even if the company does not appeal, you still have to get your money immediately. You won't have to wait for the appeal to finish. It's like getting guaranteed payment upfront even if there's legal fight later. The appeal only affects whether a company has to pay you back later. It doesn't stop you from receiving your money initially. Okay. So, a lot of good stuff, no? I hope malaman to ng mga kababayan nating seaman, no? Okay. Okay, now this one is quite confusing also, So let's read this. Let's explain to me this. Grabe, no? Monetary talaga yung nakasulat dito. So yan yung execution of judgment, and so I think this is quite good, no? So I'm not sure about what is going on in the maritime industry. So lahat ng mga seaman na alam, for sure alam nyo to. It's new to me. These new lessons na may ganito pala na nangyayari, no? Imagine you and the shipping company are fighting over how much money you're owed. This is a disputed amount. Oh, okay. Yung kanina is undisputed amount. That means you both agree. Okay? And then, before mo makuha, mag-appeal sila na may mistake. So, matatagalan ka. Maubos na yung savings mo. So, patay na. Okay? Loan na. Mag-loan. So, ito naman is imagine you and the shipping company are fighting over how much money you're owed. This is a disputed amount. You decide to appeal the court's initial ruling. If you do this, parang pera yung involved nito eh. A bond is like a large deposit of money. Before the appeal starts, you have to give the court a bond equal to the amount of money you're fighting over. Bakit? This is to ensure that if you lose the appeal and the court's initial ruling was correct, you can pay back the shipping company. However, if you win the appeal, then the shipping company has pay you back the money plus the bond you initially deposited. In that way, it's a way to make sure both sides are serious and to potentially cover costs associated with the appeal process. It discourages frivolous appeals. So, before the appeal starts, you have to give the court a bond equal to the amount of money you're fighting over. Magkano? Kung ano yung... So does that mean na kung 1 million yung kailangan mong i-claim, maglagay ka rin ng bond na 1 million? Please explain this. So, wala kang pera, paano? Okay. Let's say you're arguing the company over 100,000 pesos. Okay. You're not happy with the judge first decision. So, you decide to appeal. Ask a higher court to review the case. Grabe. Pera yung involved nito. Before the higher court hears your appeal, they might require you to place a bond of 100,000. This is a guarantee, a promise that you can pay the money back. It's like a security deposit. If you lose the appeal, it means that the first judge was right. You were wrong to appeal. The court then uses your 100,000 bond to pay the company. It's your way of showing the court you're serious and that you can afford to pay the company if you lose. Anak nang... If you didn't have to put up a bond, you could appeal even you know you were wrong. Okay? Just wouldn't pay if you lost. Bond makes you think twice before making a frivolous appeal. That sounds like disadvantage to seafarers. You're right to point out that requiring a bond can be disadvantage to seafarers, especially those who may not have readily available funds. Yes, agree. It creates a financial barrier to appealing decision, even if the seafarer believes they're even treated unfairly. That's why Magna Carta includes provisions such as action fund assistance. Ang lupit. To help alleviate that burden for seafarers facing financial hardship. The intention is to balance the need for accountability with the need to ensure seafarers have access to justice, but the system as designed still represents significant challenge. How can that does that apply to the other party as well? Say the employer. So, ibig sabihin, kunyari 100,000 yung disputed amount, okay? 100,000 is the disputed amount. Tapos you're not happy with it, that's why you have to appeal. Para ma-proceed yung appeal process, you have to put a bond of 100,000. Okay, so ganun yun. So if you win, makuha mo yung 100,000 mo na deposit, na bond, tapos makuha mo rin yung disputed amount. Okay? If you lose, you have to pay. So, ang question ko, does that apply to other party as well? Kunyari, they would like do some appeal para matagalan yung process mo, para maubos yung oras mo, ubos yung savings mo. Okay? Mag-apply ba yung bond? Yes, the principle is posting a bond to secure the payment of an award applies in theory to both seafarer and the employer. Oh, okay. So this is both. Okay. So if hindi kaya ng seafarer, may action fund assistance. Okay. However, the practical application may differ significantly due to the inherent power imbalance. Tama. Power imbalance eh. Yung company, ang daming 100,000, ano lang yung 100,000 sa company. A large shipping company is far more likely to have resources to readily post a bond than an individual seafarer. While the law theoretically makes it reciprocal, the reality on the ground is like, it's likely much larger barrier for seafarer than employee. Okay, so the Magna Carta of the Seafarer for Filipino, is it beneficial to employers or to seafarers? Kasi naguluhan na ko eh. Kasi these are technicalities na I think pwedeng maano ba? Okay. The Magna Carta for the Filipino seafarers is primarily designed to benefit seafarers. Okay. I think this the answers. This is the answer. Okay, so ang dami nito, no? I think the video is quite long, no? It significantly strengthens the rights and protections against exploitation and unfair treatment. However, it doesn't necessarily disadvantage employers who are already acting ethically and fairly. For responsible employers who already comply with labor laws and treat employees well, the Magna Carta might only mean to increase compliance, cost, and more formalized procedures. Okay? It is designed to create It is designed to create more level playing field to provide recourse for seafarers who have been wronged. The benefits to the industry as a whole could include improved reputation and reduced disputes and litigation in the long run. However, the primary and most direct benefits intended to go to the seafarers. Why? Explain why you said this. Okay, so, grabe. This is the 4th document pa lang. And we have 52. Ang hirap. I think if there are lawyers out there na who can explain this document better, no, I think it would help a lot of seafarers. Kasi ito yung patok na yun eh. Na ano, I stated that the primary and most direct benefits of Magna Carta are intended for Filipino seafarers because the entire purpose of the legislation is to address the vulnerabilities and power imbalances inherent in the seafaring profession. Okay, tatanungin natin kung ano yung mga nakalista na ito. Historically, seafarers, particularly those working on international vessels, have been susceptible to exploitation due to their geographical remoteness, the demanding nature of their work, and often the complex legal jurisdictions involved. The Magna Carta directly tackles these issues, granting fair treatment. It enshrines rights to fair wages, safe working conditions, adequate medical and care and repatriation, providing legal recourse. It establishes mechanism for solving disputes and obtaining redress for grievances. Protecting against exploitation. It specifically addresses issues such as unfair contracts, abandonment, and discrimination. Okay. Maybe this one is nasa baba na, no? Kasi ang layo pa natin eh. 4 pa lang tayo out of 52, so may 48 pages pa. But we will end here. Kasi too much na rin to, no? Okay? So I think yung mga law student dyan, yung mga lawyers, I think panis sa kanila to. Wala sa kanila to. Pero sa atin na hindi mga lawyer, parang na-stress ako nito eh. While responsible employers might see some indirect benefits, the law focuses squarely on improving the lives and livelihoods of seafarers by directly enhancing rights and protections and providing recourse when things go wrong. Benefits structured flow directly. So, always na inuulit niya, pero hindi ko ma-picture out. Okay? Hindi ko pa ma-picture out. Maybe later. And we'll just create another video, no? So, if you want more video, if you want me to continue this, kasi this is 4th pa lang eh, ang haba pa nito eh. At saka very interesting. Ang dami kong natutunan, pero parang sumasabog na yung utak ko dito. Okay? So I hope na may natutunan kayo, no? So I want to go back, no? I want to go back ito. So I think ito na-explain na to na promulgation of rules. So, ibig sabihin, we'll create rules. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa na-create kasi we'll create eh. Unless, yung final na document na napirmahan ni President is iba. Kasi ito, to siya? Take note this is not the final document. This is a conference committee report. Okay? So, kung ano yung mga, ito na-explain na natin earlier, disagreeing provisions. Okay? So, first dito is itong section 59, ito yung disagreeing nila eh. So, itong section 59 is, so itong mga organizations na to, sila yung mag-create ng rules para, ensure fair and speedy resolution of monetary claims. So, I don't know kung ano yung mga claims. For sure, maraming mga na-aksidente yan dyan as a seafarer. Kung makikita mo sa Facebook, no, yung mga lubid na biglang gumanon yung lubid, tapos kawawa yung kabaro natin. Okay? So, ambulance chasing. So, paano to i-prevent? I don't know. Okay? Then, undisputed amounts. I think na-discuss na natin to. Okay? If a seafarer appeals for decision, okay, they must post a bond. Grabe, no? Okay. So now, I think this is the final na explain natin to. Please explain this. Okay. This section means that if a seafarer needs to post a bond to appeal a court decision, as explained previously, they're struggling financially to do so, they can apply for help from the Department of Migrant Workers Action Fund. So, this is new to me. So, I learned that yung PUAA before is ginawa ng Department of Migrant Workers, that's a DMW. Nandyan nakasulat yung mga legit na companies. And take note guys ha, sa Seaman Bio, nilista natin yung mga legit na companies. Yung mga listahan doon galing sa DMW. Okay? So, pwede kayong pumunta doon para mag-direct apply. So, I learned na there is an action fund. Okay? Let's what does action fund mean? Okay? So while it's getting the meaning, there is an action fund. The action fund might give them some or all of some, okay, some or all monetary needed for the bond. All of the money needed for the bond. However, the amount assistance they receive depends entirely on the final assessment of their disability, how severely they're injured or disabled, whether that's work related. If their disability is severe and clearly related to their work, they're more likely to get financial aid. If the disability is less severe or not directly work related, they may receive less or no assistance from the fund. Okay. Take note guys Okay. So this is connecting to the work related, no? So it's a safety net to help seafarers afford bond, need to pursue the legal rights. But getting aid isn't guaranteed, depends on the independent evaluation of their disability. Okay. So Action Fund is the financial assistance program under the Department of Migrant Workers, DMW in the Philippines. Is designed to provide Filipino aid to overseas Filipino workers. Oh, okay. Lahat ng OFW ang makaano ng Action Fund, including seafarers who are facing difficulties, particularly those needing urgent assistance. In the context of Magna Carta of the Filipino Seafarers, it can provide financial assistance to help seafarers who need to post bond for an appeal. Okay? Action. Okay, so it's actually here, no? Action. DMW through the Agarang Kalinga at Saklolo para sa mga OFW na nangangailangan. Okay? Ito pala yung meaning ng Action Fund. Okay? May provide financial assistance to the seafarer depending on the final determination of maritime disability grading under Section 57 of this Act. Okay? Take note, there are 100 sections, okay, so, medyo mahaba-haba siya, no? So, for the payment of the premiums of the bond, either in full or in part, pertinent guidelines. So, ano ba naman yung mga word na pertinent? Pertinent guidelines for assistance in payment period, including availment process, amount, or length validity, shall be issued by DMW after consultation with stakeholders, including the DOL and NLRC, Seafarers Union, manning agency, ship owners, or their representatives. Okay, so last na lang to. What is the Section 57? Hindi pa tayo nag-Section 1. Grabe. So, I hope may natutunan kayo, no? So, this is the last na no? Section 57 of the Magna Carta for Filipino Seafarers deals with the determination of seafarers disability grading. So ito daw is to grade kung gaano ka ka-disable. It outlines the process of determining the degree of seafarers disability resulting from work-related injury or illness. Here's a breakdown. Initial assessment. A company designated physician initially assesses a seafarer's disability after repatriation. Kung napauwi na, i-assess. Second opinion, if seafarers disagrees with the company doctor's assessment, they can seek a second opinion from physician of their choice specializing in the relevant area. Okay. The third doctor, if the company doctor and the seafarer chosen doctor disagree with the disability grading, a third and neutral doctor mutually selected from the DOH accredited pool will make the final determination. This is binding on both parties. I don't know what does this mean, pero interested ko malaman kung ano yan. Schedule of disabilities. The third doctor's assessment must strictly follow the schedule of disabilities. What is, ano na naman to? A standardized list of disabilities. And their corresponding levels of severity. This helps ensure consistency and fairness of the assessment. In short, Section 57 aims to ensure a fair and objective assessment of the seafarer's disability, minimizing bias and disputes, while providing a structured process for handling disagreements. The disability grading is crucial because it determines the level of compensation and benefits seafarer entitled to receive. Okay, so yeah, grabe guys, there's too much content, no, sa document na to, and I hope na madaling maintindihan to ng mga kapwa natin seafarer, at saka I hope ma-explain din to ng mga ng mga manning agency. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Okay, and I don't know, kasi relating to the contract to mga accidents ang daming accident sa barko sa OFW. Okay, so guys, hanggang dito lang muna tayo. Let's continue. If you like me to continue, please message na na continue. Please continue sa chat if you like me to continue regarding this. Kasi this is really, really helpful to help us understand this document. Mahaba-habang usapan to, and this is really beneficial to all the seafarers. Okay guys, so again, this is not the final document that I have. I hope I can get the final document yung pinirmahan ng presidente, and I hope it will be available. And saan ko to nakuha? I got it somewhere from the internet. If I'm not mistaken, there is this person from the Tinig Marino, okay? From the Tinig Marino, I think his name is Nelson Ramirez, and then he posted something there, this document, and I just downloaded this, converted to PDF, and uploaded here to the AI that we're using. And yeah, thank you so much for this document, and we hope again na it will be clarified sa mga seafarers, kasi ang daming scam I hope maiwasan natin yung mga scam. Okay, so yung iba na aksidente, they were promised na baka they're promised na ganito yung ma-receive, pero actually in-apply yung delaying tactics ba para hindi na kaya ng seafarer na ng mga lawyer, so ubos yung pera. Okay, so medyo mahirap. So guys, all this, again, I'm not a lawyer, this is just AI. We're using AI, no? We're using AI to interpret this para mas madali nating maintindihan. Okay? So, if you want me to continue, just message, please continue. And please like, share, and subscribe, no? Share nyo to. Kasi I hope maliwanagan natin yung mga kababayan nating seaman. Okay? Maraming salamat guys. This is Jenner Hilcaga from Seaman Bayo. Thank you so much. Have a great day.